Hello YouTube, this is Alex again. Just doing a little video on this gas powered air compressor I did about 4 or 5 days ago. It's not completed yet, but it does run, and it is a very good example of how good shit was back in the day about air compressor pumps. Right here I have a Cambo Haas, I believe I pronounced that correctly. It goes all the way to 120 psi, and then the pop valve pops open. Alright, I got a little hose from Cobalt that runs all the way over here. I've got it into this aluminum T. I've got 3 outlets. Alright, I've got this basically, right there. This is meant for my external tanks. It's basically a metal piece, and I got my female in right here. Put it on. The tank right now had no pressure in it basically. I've got this 1950s air compressor pump right here. Nothing fancy. It's rated at I believe it says 1100 RPM plus. So it's old school. I should technically have copper running right here instead of this little air hose, because it gets hot. I've got a little 99cc motor that I got off of that. I'm putting it back on it, but this right here is just an example of how fast this thing works. Now I'm at 0 psi. I'll start it up. So there was my demonstration. That is a 2-gallon tank. Filled it up in I think about 35 seconds. So I'm putting out quite a bit of air. The motor was at probably, I want to say 1500 RPM. Maybe, actually I lied, it's probably a little more than that, but the motor the air compressor pump was putting out pretty good. I can run my air ratchet off of it, and it requires about 5.5 CFM, and I can sit there and use it at about 60 psi, and the compressor keeps up perfectly without going any higher. But that is an example of how easy and simple this works. Pop valve pops off at about, I don't know, about 45-50 psi, or 120 psi. It pops off and lets all the air out, and then kicks back in at about 50 psi. So that's just a little demonstration. So comment and rate. Thanks. Bye.